Aquarius is a difficult zodiac sign to date. Aquarius is an inconsistent personality. If you're in a relationship with an Aquarius, they're going to be an anxious personality because they're always trying to make sure they're maximizing their own personal growth. Naturally, they do not like to be surrounded by people who do not value personal development. They do not like to be surrounded with people that do not value self-reflection to become a better version of who they are, that do not value self-awareness, that do not value authenticity and truth. It's really important that Aquarius constantly be in the state of development. They never stop growing because they're here to push us forward. It's hard to push humanity forward when you're not even pushing yourself forward. I need you to make yourself so uncomfortable that you have no choice but to break out of that shell that society has created for you, to break off those chains of bondage that society birthed you into. I need you to do that. That is what Aquarius is here to do. We don't talk enough about it, but it's true. The world does not like truth. Aquarius says, I know that if I speak truth, I may piss you off. And you know what? Be pissed off. So what? Because your feelings about me speaking truth are not going to change the truth. So be mad. It's okay. You know what's going to happen after you're done being mad? I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to do me. I'm still going to think how I think. I'm still going to live how I live. I'm still going to stand in my truth. I'm still going to wake up tomorrow and do all the things I want to do, regardless of what you think. Because my life is not for you. I'm not here to make you happy, for you to validate my existence. I'm here to love me. That's what I'm here to work on. And the more I love me, the more I free you to love you if you don't love yourself. Because when you come around me, you're going to feel uncomfortable because you're like, how does she love herself so much? So I'm going to shine a light on you that shows you that you still have work to do on yourself. Aquarius is a sister sign of Leo, and Leos love themselves. And Aquarius do too. Different presentation. Up and down is a very accurate description of anything that concerns Aquarius, because if there's one thing Aquarius is consistent about is their inconsistencies. They're a fixed but yet inconsistent personality in astrology. So fixed when it comes to their values, their beliefs, their ideals, but inconsistent because of Uranus. Uranus is always pushing them to grow, to expand, to push the limits, to redefine themselves. Not in the sense of Pluto where you're destroying, but it's more in the sense of like, how do we expand our consciousness from here? How do we evolve as a human race? How do we transcend this 3D reality into a consciousness that is deeper, that is closer to God, that is more immense, that is more loving, that is more real, that is more authentic? How do we make room for our true human selves while also honoring our spiritual selves? So Aquarius is constantly on that quest to grow. They're here to be free, to set themselves free, to set on fire all of that trash, all of that conditioning that society basically forces upon us. All of these rules, all these ideas, all of these beliefs that are rooted in nothing but stupidity and tradition. Aquarius is here to take all of that and set it on fire and watch it burn to crisp. And then from there, they're there to stand tall and proud in their true, authentic selves, regardless of who likes it or not. They're here to be true to who they are, through and through. No apologies, no excuses, no pretending. And it's not that they're mean. It's not that they don't care how you feel. It's that they know you cannot grow in lies. Aquarius knows fundamentally that you cannot grow in lies. If you're trying to become a better version of who you are, the first thing we have to get rid of are the lies. We start with the lies that you tell yourself. If you were to hire me as your coach, that's the first place I would go. What are the lies that you're telling yourself? Because a lot of people live entire lives lying to themselves, and they have no idea that they're the liar in that story. This is why you guys hate Scorpio, because Scorpio would tell you about yourself. Let's be real. That's why you hate Scorpio, because Scorpio tells you about yourself. Aquarius does it too. Aquarius is here to expose those lies, but they do that with themselves first. That's why they insist on being true. That's why they insist on being authentic. because they cannot call out the lies in society if they cannot call out the lies in themselves. If I cannot tell what's real and what's fake within myself, how can I know what's real and what's fake within you? And how do I get you to embrace who you are if I cannot embrace who I am? If I do not know who I am? If I do not love who I am? Aquarius is the most misunderstood zodiac sign because they stand for something that society hates, which is truth. We live in a world full of lies. We live in a world where people would rather lie to themselves than to face their true nature. People would rather lie to themselves and lie to you than to tell themselves the truth about who they are. People walk around thinking they're a nice person. Meanwhile, they're like doing horrible things to people who've done nothing to them. But they literally wake up every day thinking they're a good person. The measure of a good person are their actions. Good people do good things. Good people do good things. If you're not doing good things, you're not a good person. If you're not doing good things for yourself and your community, you're not a good person. Stop lying to yourself. If you're not somebody who volunteers, you're not somebody who donates, you're not somebody who takes care of the sick, you're not someone who takes care of the hungry, you're not someone who takes care of people who are in need. And if you think you're better than them because you're not as needy as them, you're not a good person. If you're only doing nice things for people because it makes you feel superior, you're not a good person. If you're only doing nice things for people so you can brag about all the good you're doing in the world, you're not a good person. Okay? Good people look out for other human beings because good people know that life is hard and all of us are struggling to make it. So whenever they have a chance to do something nice to help somebody else, they do it. And they don't do it so they can brag about it, or they don't do it so they can pat themselves on the back about it. They do it quietly. And in fact, good people never want you to find out that they did that. They never want you to know what they did to help because they weren't doing it for the accolades. They would do it for free because it's the right thing to do. So Aquarius is insisting on humans being kind, humans being good, and humans looking out for each other. Much like Capricorn, Aquarius was sent here to move society forward. Both of these zodiac signs have a responsibility on them to improve society, to improve humanity. And they can't do that if they don't know how to improve themselves. This is why Capricorn is so serious, because Capricorn knows they can't be a fuck up if they're here to help society get better. And Aquarius knows they can't be a fake if they're trying to help people really reach their higher selves, which is them really loving themselves. Because your higher self is closer to God and you were made perfectly, just as you are. So Aquarius wants you to love yourself the way they love themselves. They want you to just be yourself and love yourself. Because everything about you is just perfect for the mission you're on. They want you to focus on that mission. But they know you're not going to get to it if you're distracted by superficial things. That's why they hate fakeness and superficiality. Because they know ultimately none of those things matter. Like, what does it matter 100 years from now? What shade of lipstick you like? What does it matter? How is that changing the world? How is that benefiting the world? So if you're not a serious person, you're not somebody who, if you're not someone who thinks about other people on a deep soul level, and if you don't generally care about other human beings, you're never going to see eye to eye with Aquarius. Because that's who they are. That's why they're here. There's no other reason that they're here except for that. That's why they don't care about anything else.
You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com.
You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.